is the MG5, and it could well be the best value new car currently for sale. I'm not saying it's the cheapest. That is the Dacia Sandero, which we've reviewed already. But in terms of space and equipment and running costs, this could well be the best value of them all. Am I getting hot under the collar looking at it? Absolutely not. But there's no denying that it does shape up to be a very solid, no-frills contender if you're after a pragmatic electric, that's right, it's electric, family car that will get you from A to B with zero fuss. So is it that? Or is it as uninspiring to live with as it is to look at? Well, let's find out, shall we? But before that, make sure you subscribe to the Carbuyer YouTube channel, click on the bell icon, then you get notifications every time a new video goes live. And hey, leave a comment. We love hearing from you, and we'll try our best to reply. This isn't a car, despite MG's history with small dynamic sports cars, that you can spec with lots of extra trinkets like bigger wheels or body kits. Yes, there's a bit of chrome at the front, around the windows and a bit more at the back, but that's it. It's obvious just looking at it that this is a sensible car through and through, and that continues on the inside. Oh, it's a bit dull in here. Although I do have to admit, everything is perfectly functional. MG haven't tried to do anything overly dramatic or super gimmicky. Like the infotainment screen here, it's not as intuitive as BMW or Mercedes, but it's got everything that you need. It's got sat-nav, it's got DAB radio. Even the basic models all come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We don't have digital dials here, but we've got a very nice layout, little TFT screen in the middle here that shows you all the information that you need, like range, etc. Climate controls, we all know, I'm a big fan of physical twisty-do dials. Big fan of those rather than having touchy slidey things or something hidden within the infotainment system. One thing I have noticed is when you are adjusting the temperature, which I'm going to make it a bit cooler because it's very hot today, is that they do feel a bit hard and plasticky. Does it surprise me? Does it annoy me? Not really. I mean, it might work out perfect for some family car buyers. Quite happy to throw the kids in, throw the dog in without the fear of scratching up any shiny switchgear or any shiny fancy veneer, you know? It's not too bad. If you want a full list of the kit you get with the MG5, your best bet is to head to carbuyer.co.uk, where you'll find our full review and with all the details. Suffice to say, unless you want the fancy heated electrically operated leather seats of the exclusive model, we'd save some cash and opt for the entry-level Excite trim, which is priced from just a smidge over 25 grand after you factored in the government's plug-in car grant. What's arguably more important than the fairly generous list of kit is range and charging. At this end of the market, battery specs vary wildly, but thankfully, the MG5 comes up trumps in this regard. There are 2 batteries available, with even the smaller one of the 2 capable of around 200 miles in the real world. The bigger one, which is a 61 kilowatt-hour battery, will officially do 250 miles on a charge, or 220 to 230 in real-world driving. The MG is slightly less competitive when it comes to charging. While the Peugeot E2008 will charge up at 100 kilowatts, the MG5 maxes out at 80, but don't let that put you off. It'll still charge to 80% in less than an hour, or overnight via a 7 kilowatt wall box. Now this is normally the part of the review where I will tell you what this car is like to drive, but it's an MG5. You're probably a little bit more interested in the practicality side of things, like boot space, for example. Interestingly, apart from the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, this is the only electric estate car currently on sale, which gives the MG5 somewhat of a USP. Loads of room, 464 litres of boot space with the seats as normal, or you can fold them down and get 1,456 litres of space. You've also got some netting around the sides so you can hold bits in place. I mean, the load space is very nice and deep, even if you do have to lug your stuff over the lip. I shouldn't have packed so many shoes. Let's have a look at the back, shall we? Now the estate body works wonders back here because the roofline just stays nice and high over your head. I'm 5'6", loads of headroom, loads of knee room, got a couple of USB sockets here, and hey look, a couple of cup holders. Can't go wrong really. In addition to the impressive level of standard kit, every MG5 comes with a 7-year, 80,000-mile warranty. Electric cars should be more reliable than petrol and diesel models because they have far fewer moving parts under the bonnet, even if you drive it like you stole it. Which you absolutely won't. Let's get this straight right from the outset. The dreary styling translates to driving experience. I mean, yes, we've got a decent shove. It does 0 to 62 in 7.7 seconds, which actually makes it quicker than the VW ID3 or other petrol rivals like the Ford Focus Estate. But it's just not as fun as those either. Or at all, really. I mean, it just rolls so much in corners. It pitches and wallows as you're going over dips and crests, and when you brake hard, it doesn't feel that control. The steering feels really light, so you're not really having a lot of fun when you're driving around twisty turny roads. Lord knows I have tried all the different driving modes and none of those have made any improvement really. What has surprised me more than all of that is the fact that it's not actually that comfortable in and around town, which an MG5 surely is going to be spending most of its time. I mean, as soon as you hit a bump or a dip or a pothole, you're just going to get caught out by them. It's much happier and much better on motorways and like smoother roads. But as we all know, with electric cars, the faster you go, the less range you have. So if you're going to look at this as a motorway car, those range figures aren't going to be that great. Right, let's deal make and deal break. Prices are comparable with many similarly spec'd petrol cars. This is one of the cheapest electric cars on sale, and it doesn't come at the cost of standard equipment. You can expect rock bottom running costs too. There are 2 battery options, but even the smaller, cheaper version should return 200 miles on a charge. It's remarkable how few electric estate cars are on sale at the moment, but the space inside makes the MG5 an extremely attractive family car. You might get loads of kit, but you'll also find pretty hard plastics inside, even if it should prove durable. If you enjoy driving, this isn't the car for you. Frustratingly, it's not all that comfortable either. Style is subjective, and maybe you like the design or you're willing to overlook it, but, well, the MG5 isn't a looker in the traditional sense of the word. I started this review by suggesting that this is the best value new car currently for sale. And you know what? I am not taking that back. No siree. I mean, yeah, there's no denying this is a pragmatist car. A kind of car if you just want maximum space for minimum running costs and you don't really care what it looks like or how it drives. I mean, I like fun, exciting, stylish cars. And this is none of those things. But there's also quite a lot to admire about it, and hey, if you go out and buy an MG5, you will go down in my book as a right thrifty little sausage. If you like this video, then why not watch our Volkswagen ID3 review or our electric cars playlist. Thanks for watching.